Hello there. So let's talk about education, because that's what we're all here to do, right? Change the world, teach. Specifically, I want to respond to the influences of economic and political influences on education. So if you look at education as far back as how it dates to ancient Rome and Greece, you see the foundation and the beginning of the development of the social caste system, where the haves and the have-nots were developed, and the haves would be the ones who would get to experience education at its finest level after an adolescent stage. It wasn't more so based upon what you know, more so it was to who you know. And that definitely correlates to today's education, because, I'm sorry if I have to be the one to say it, certain students and certain of our certain individuals of the youth demographic in our education environment are not awarded with the same opportunities and the same assets that some kids are in a more affluent, less poverty-stricken area. Whereas student X, who's in the rural inner city metropolitan area, has to stay at school to type the paper in the library because they don't have several MacBooks at home to work on. And I'm not here to knock anybody who had opportunity, because my parents worked very hard and put me in a position to where I could succeed as well. But I just say that has something to do with it. The student in the inner city could be more talented. She could be more driven, just have more work ethic and natural discipline and dedication to the process of learning and just creating to make the world a better place. Whereas student B, who's in the more affluent area, are offered all of these amenities when that's not really what they're interested in. Where it's not wrong to not be interested in that. Leads me to my second point. Along the times, things have changed. We talk about education reform. The last time I really seen education reform was post Great Depression. Look at our school system today. Myself, first year teacher, high school algebra, geometry. I look at some of my colleagues, and their classes are set up in nice and neat, meticulous rows with the students sitting one behind each other in alphabetical order. Their seats are assigned and charted. They know where they sit every day. Their lesson is the same. There's a jump start on the board. They work up, they do warm-ups, and then they go into the lesson, and then he teaches, gives notes, and then he challenges them to check for understanding, and they leave with an exit ticket. Nothing wrong with that. That's the way I grew up learning. That's the way my parents grew up learning, the way their parents grew up learning. Should not be the way my kids grew up learning, their kids grew up learning. Because that is not the way that they're going to be living once they are done growing up. The world is changing. The world has changed. The last revolution that we hear about, positive, was the Industrial Revolution. I'm here to tell you right now, we're living in a technological revolution. Get ready for it. Schools will have to adapt to the new work environment that we are providing. Social media, technological information, intellectual property. That's what it's all about now. The metaverse. So we can't expect students to survive and thrive in an educational setting that's outdated. It does not fit their interests. It doesn't give them what they want. We ask them to come in, sit down, do the same assignment every day, day in, day out, the same time, sit down, take your same 5-minute break in between learning something else. Sit down, take the same 5-minute break in between learning something else. Oh, you're hungry, here's lunch. Now go back to one of them classes that we had you in, i.e. workstations. Sit down and work for those 50 minutes, and then take your 5-minute break and go to another workstation that we had. I don't care if you don't like Spanish. You need to learn it. I don't care if you don't play sports. You need 2 years of physical education. Why? We need to start teaching these kids to be what they are interested in. I guarantee you the success level will be at. We need to get away from teaching kids to work in factories, teaching kids to line up and be on the assembly line, teaching kids that, you know what, you might be interested in motors, but today you're working on tires. And all you're going to do all day is blow up the left tire on this car. Blow that tire up. I don't care about your knowledge in engines. I don't care if you can do that. And you know what? Even though you like engines I got you on tires, don't let me catch you looking at the engines. Don't let me catch you talking about the engines. Over here, it's about tires. We don't speak about engines because this is Tire Workstation. That's exactly what we're doing to our kids. Where is education reform? I'm here to tell you, it's at Alliant. Where else can an individual such as myself, seeking professional certification to educate tomorrow's youth, turn in an assignment in this format? I'm a firm believer in my spoken word is better than my written pen because I truly formulate my mind. I speak freely, fluidly. I do not let trying to be utter perfection stand in the way of the message that I'm trying to convey. Thank you, Alliant, for showing us what education reform truly is. Gerald Montgomery II, Masters of Education candidate. Single credential, mathematics.